Hey, so can we just stop doing the whole manly man thing? This is really just a message to men. Um, because I think, I mean, on two sides, I think, I don't know, we just have this sort of stupid depiction of what it means to be a man. And I think, like, I don't know, we just have this depiction that we have to be like this sort of cutthroat, you know, muscular, type A. We've got all sorts of, different genres of what it means to be a man. And I just want you to be like yourself, whatever that looks like, and feel comfortable with whatever that is, right? And yeah, you know what? I might be around you and I might feel uncomfortable with who you are and all those kind of things. And that's okay, right? Like that, but that doesn't affect you. And there's no reason for you to sort of think about, I need to be a manly man or I need to be this certain depiction. But, the typical way that we depict men in sort of, maybe it's social media, maybe it is definitely in the movies, right? The sort of big masculine men that, especially in business, right? Like they walk around in the suit and they're sort of tearing other people apart, and they're sort of power focused and then we've got the opposite, right? As this great big buffoon, right? The Homer Simpson kind of depiction of men, and both of those depictions are complete opposite and in completely wrong of what real life human beings are. Now, so the Simpsons, Homer Simpson is probably more close to the reality than that sort of manly men thing. But both of those are, in my view, completely destroying how we think about men, how we sort of think about ourselves in many different ways. And I just want you to be normal, right? Like just functioning human being. And in the last 10 years, I've noticed on TV shows and stuff, there's been a lot more sort of just normal functioning human being men, right? Like just normal people, right? And I think that's where we need to go more, right? And just come to terms with that sort of reality of the power hungry man. So first of all, um, if you're trying to get big and muscular and bulked up and all that kind of stuff, first of all, it's going to make you make stupid ass decisions to take steroids and all those kind of things, right? That are just not good for you. And then you're also going to have all of these like body image problems and all these kind of things, right? Like all of that stuff that many of us, including myself, have sort of, gone through. I've never taken steroids, but, just going through the why am I not getting bigger and all that like kind of stupid things, right? And that's just your body, whatever. The second thing is, the aspect of that you have to be a jerk, right? And that's like fundamental to being a man is being a jerk, right? And it's even sort of progressed into in terms of how to get ahead for women in business and stuff. You got to be a jerk and all. Like what the hell, right? Like why? Why do you have to be a jerk? What in this world has ever concluded? I mean, yes, some people have been jerks to you, but who do you actually like and want to be around in the world, right? Is it a jerk? No. Like nobody wants to be around those people. And yeah, they might have gotten a cutthroat deal at that moment and gotten ahead at that moment, but guess how many people want to be around them for a long time? Like nobody. Like those people that do that kind of stuff, and that's like the way that they operate businesses and the way that they operate academia, the way that they just operate the world around them. Nobody likes them, right? Like that's the thing, and that is hard to take as a man, right? If you're doing that manly man stuff and you're doing all of the hard decisions and you got to man up and do all of this kind of bullshit stuff, uh, all of that stuff is really hard to take. It's hard to take mentally. Why do you think that there's a mental health crisis with men, in the sense of, the suicide rates and things, right? Because they're manning up all the time. They're having to do all of the sort of risky things and the things that nobody else wants to do because they're not man enough, or people, you got to be man to do that kind of stuff. And that's just like, honestly, it's just garbage. It's just garbage. Like, be yourself. If you don't want to do something, if it's scary or whatever, just don't do it. It's okay to, you know what? It's okay to be not a man. It's okay to, like, just be whatever, right? Like, I'm just saying, quit manning up. Like, quit being that kind of person. That kind of person is a jerk. It's just hands down. It's just a jerk, right? And what you got to come down to and think about is, who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What kind of person do you want to be? Right? Like, if you're afraid to do something, don't do it. It's probably a good sign. If you want to do it, go do it. Now, with my kids, right? If there's something that's a little bit afraid, that they're a little bit afraid of and stuff, I'll try to coax them, right? Like, and in fact, it's probably more than try, and probably push a little too much, like going on a scary ride at a theme park. Um, but ultimately, it's your choice. Hey, you got to think about that. That's your choice. You need to sort of decide on who you want to be, and if you want to be soft and sympathetic and empathetic and all those kind of things, that's completely fine, right? In fact, that's what a normal human being actually is. Those people that don't man up, that they're just themselves, or just being nice human beings. That's nice. That's what people want to be around, right? And I think the message that comes across, particularly when you're younger, right? The message that comes across, for a number of different reasons, because you don't have the track record yet, and there's just natural, pure ability is the only thing that comes through. So when you're like 13, 12, 13 years old, sports, pure ability, right? Like, that shines through, that disappears within like 5 years, right? Like, most people become fat and ugly. I'm sorry. Like, that is, and I hate to say it that way, but it's absolutely true. They do, right? Because they're just relying on natural ability. But, if you're just being like a normal human being, a functioning human being, that stuff disappears. And then you've got the rest of your life. You've got 70, well, probably 60 years at that point to live, and you have to figure all of this stuff out. You're not relying on any of that kind of stuff anymore, right? You can't be a manly man. And yeah, maybe at that point, manly men, because they're athletic and they sort of stand out, that they are more attractive to the opposite sex early on, or to the same sex, whoever you're into, whatever, I don't care. But what I'm saying is, you just don't have to be like that. And what you realize as you get older is that people like to be around people that are just normal functioning human beings that don't tear other people apart, and that they are just, you know, sometimes they're kind, sometimes they're like focused on themselves, but generally, generally they're kind human beings and normal functioning human beings. And I think, like, that's what we should be looking for, is instead of being manly men and, the business women and like all of this kind of nonsense gender role crap, just be normal functioning human beings, whatever that looks like for you. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day.